You have stepped outside it all this previous week. You could tell me one thing for sure. It is definitely summer. But what's going on way above our heads to tell us what's going on down here? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. First, we'll take a look at our nationwide temperatures, probably the thing that you're feeling the most right now. And as we see a very large ridge of extremely warm air infiltrating the southeastern to central portion of the country, as we pull this forward through the weekend, the whole country, even up there into the Dakotas, 80 degrees, up towards 90 up in the Midwest and up the eastern coast, the whole country being overwhelmed by extremely hot temperatures. Over there in California, by the weekend, we could see over 100 degrees. Everyone right now is really feeling this heat, especially down here in east central Mississippi. Another important thing to look at is dew points, how much moisture is in the air, because that's leading to two things. One, increased heat indices, and number two, more of those rain chances. And as we see, mid 70s, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. The combination of humidity and heat makes for a bundle of very, very warm weather. It's raising up those heat indexes, and how high are they actually going to get? The answer to that question is quite high. Over the next almost 2 weeks, these heat indexes during the heating of the day, so like the late morning, early afternoon, and through the evening hours, when the sun is out, watch out. They are going to stay at least in the upper 90s and sometimes reaching over 100 degrees. We have been in a heat advisory for the past 3 or 4 days because the heat indexes have got near 105 degrees. But what is causing these temperatures and heat indexes and dew points to be so high? Well, that answer is found in high pressure. Those H's right there are high pressure centers. The L's are low. And as we pull this forward, multiple lingering and moving through the area, keeping us very warm and also dragging showers across the area with a westward motion. And as we look forward, these high pressure centers don't look to completely move out of the way until at least next Tuesday, when one lone low pressure system might bring some cooler air behind it, but will quickly be replaced by more of that hot, muggy summertime air. Moisture so deep in the atmosphere, every afternoon this week and the weeks leading up will have a chance of isolated showers or thunderstorms, some of which over today and this weekend could bring some severe modes and strong wind gusts, but especially heavy rain and strong and frequent lightning. Dew points I mentioned, that humidity and moisture very deep in the atmosphere. It's almost 5 kilometers up in the air. Just know that is pretty impressive. Now, this is something that's not abnormal. We see it every summer. But what is a little more than ordinary is how deep and how much moisture we have seen. Most likely that is due to how warm the Gulf is currently right now at the end of June. And speaking of that Gulf, talking about how warm it is, one thing that we haven't seen is that warmth being tapped in by a tropical storm or depression. We haven't seen much tropical activity or noise at all this hurricane season so far. And while I am thankful for that, it is a little strange. I mentioned in my hurricane forecast almost 2 months ago now that I expected a slower start to hurricane season, not expecting it to ramp up until we get into the fall or late summer months. And now it seems that is a perfect forecast so far. Now, it's not to say we haven't seen any disturbances. We just saw some last week, but way out in the Atlantic, and just 3 days later, it's gone. There is no outlook for the Atlantic. Now, there are reasons for this. It could be that Saharan dust that we saw a couple weeks ago. It could also be with how much shear is out there. We're seeing a lot of activity on land and near the coast. But so far, we haven't had any threatening storms, severe weather on land, or tropical storms on water to worry about at all this June. But with that being said, I'd be lying if I said we have had a comfortable June with how warm it has been. This is the heat index as we move forward. We see mid to upper 90s again, and it keeps growing up towards 100 as we keep pulling this forward. As we take a look past this week, your weekly forecast today, hot, moist, and a bit rainy, just like the last week was. What about the week after? 6 to 10 days from now? Well, the Climate Prediction Center has the exact same thing, a 50% chance of above average temperatures, and this trend continues even through July. So, like I just said, we've been pretty quiet with the life-threatening weather, thankfully, so far this summer, but the heat has not been so friendly. And that's really all I can say. Hot. And then somehow getting warmer. But that's summer for you, Mississippi. I hope you enjoyed. Some days are more enjoyable than others. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all next time.